The King Must Die is a card-based PvP style game that at first I thought was a pretty intriguing game, but over time I grew to really dislike it. Gameplay wise, you and 4 other players will be assigned roles. You can either be assigned the King, the Kingslayers, the King's Guardian, or the Usurper. The role of the King is to protect their King's Guardian while taking out the Kingslayers and Usurpers. The King's Guardian must protect the King and take out the Kingslayers and Usurper. The Kingslayers must kill the King at all costs and also the King's Guardian. And the Usurper can just let the other roles fight it out and then let them weaken each other in order to take the King for themselves. Now that does sound really interesting, and the card system is okay and wasn't too hard to pick up. The game does give you pointers as well on what you should do when you're in certain situations, but what I didn't understand was why I couldn't leave a match once I was out. There was no way to quit the match and try a new one. I was sitting there watching the King and Usurper go at it for ages, and it got really boring really fast. So boring, in fact, that I ended up just closing the game. I think it's pretty ridiculous that I have to sit there and wait for the entire match to end before I can join a new one. It was just very boring to watch, especially when the time between card drops, it's quite lengthy. They'll put a card down and then you have to wait a couple seconds before something happens, and sometimes they take even longer and you're just waiting for this whole process to turn out, and you're just like, I just want to go, I want to play another game, but it won't let you. I also noticed there is an in-game chat where you can actually chat with the other players. I can't see that being bad news at all. In most card games I've played, the chat is pretty basic in order to avoid troll comments or various offensive things being said. But it seems in this game you can freely chat, and while I'm sure there is censorship, everyone finds ways around those. Another thing I found really annoying was in the in-game voices. There is only one male voice for all characters, and I'm assuming this is probably the case for female as well, but there was only one female character in the match. But all the male characters have the same voice. So you always hear the same male voice shouting attack or dodge coming from the King or the Kingslayers, for example, and it really just makes the audio pretty confusing, because I for one thought my character kept shouting the prompts when it wasn't even my go. Visually, I love the art style, however. I think the art looks great. I have no complaints over how the game looks. Overall, I'd say that The King Must Die could be a good game, but the fact that you have to wait for every player to complete the match before you can continue can be very time consuming and very boring. And that alone makes me not want to continue this game. So there you have it. That's my first impression on The King Must Die. Thank you for watching. I'm Sorasin. Have a fantastic day. Please drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my content, and hit that bell icon to stay up to date on all my upcoming videos. And if you're watching this on TapTap.io or on the TapTap app, I hope you consider following my profile as well. Bye bye!